friends. Tassif here, back with another live stream. And it's been a few days since I've done a live stream. And I missed doing live streams, so I apologize for that. And today I came to a live stream on a very short notice. I think it was just less than half hour ago that I announced that I'm going to be doing a live stream, and here I am. So I'm not sure how many people had the opportunity to check out the notification. And so what I'm going to do is, as I am starting this live stream, I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes for people to join. And so, maybe wait for 2 minutes, 3 minutes before starting the discussion. And it's always wonderful when people join. It's always wonderful when we get to have a very lively discussion in the live chat window. And so, as I was saying, I have not been able to do a live stream in a few days, so it's good to be back. And one thing I'm going to tell you is that I am very, very committed to doing live streams on this channel. However, as the seasons change, as we go from winter to spring, and towards the start of spring, I usually get real bad allergies. And the challenge on my end is that if I've got runny nose, if I'm sneezing, if I'm coughing, or if I've got itchy eyes, then it's difficult to be in front of a camera and doing live stream, obviously, right? And so, around April, May, these 2 months are a bit challenging for me every year because I get those allergies. Now, spring has been very unpredictable so far. I mean, I was hoping that, in the month of spring, we will have bright and warm and sunny days. And I think Punxsutawney Phil also said that we would have early spring. However, we are getting unpredictable weather. We are getting some rain, some thunderstorm, tornadoes, actually. I mean, there are tornado threats in Wisconsin, too. I mean, not today, but we have had tornado-related concerns over the last several weeks. And so, my friends, I'm hoping that the rest of the spring would be nice, but you never know. I mean, tomorrow it's supposed to be good, I think. As much as I like rain, I would love to enjoy some days with bright sunshine. My friend Terry is here. Terry, thank you for joining. And Terry writes, South Dakota is sunny and warm. Terry, are you suggesting that I make a trip to South Dakota? I would love to do that. South Dakota is such a wonderful state. I've not been there, as many of you already probably know because I've mentioned that before. But I've not been to South Dakota. I would love to. I'd love to go and check out Mount Rushmore and just explore the state. I know my friend Terry loves South Dakota. She lives in South Dakota. And so, Terry, glad to know that South Dakota is sunny and warm. So, my friends, as you are joining this live stream, please participate in the live chat window. I can be the only one here talking, but I want to have a discussion. I want to have a dialogue. I want to make sure that we are exchanging information, we're sharing knowledge, we are asking questions, we are sharing our views and thoughts and opinions. So please participate in the live chat window. And, I missed doing live stream the last few days, and I'm so happy to be back. I got to tell you one thing before we jump into the discussion of the Trump trial. I'm going to be discussing that. So get ready with your thoughts. If you have things to say about the Trump trial, If you have some views and opinions to share, be ready. In fact, you can already do it. Write your comments in the live chat window. But before I start talking about the Trump trial, let me just tell you that recently I had a wonderful opportunity to be the guest speaker at an event organized by the Republican Party of Iowa County, right here in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. There is a county named Iowa County. So in Iowa County, which is in southern Wisconsin, it's actually right next to Dane County where I live. So in Iowa County, the county Republican Party organized an event. It was a monthly event. And in the month of May, they invited me to their event as a guest speaker. And so I was very honored. I always appreciate the opportunity to speak and to share my thoughts, to talk about immigration issues. And that's what I did. In fact, I did a PowerPoint presentation talking about my immigration journey and also talking about the ongoing border crisis. Something that I frequently discuss on my channel, in my podcast episodes, as well as during live stream. So Terry just wrote, I've been watching all the Trump cases. Well, thank you, Terry. So if you've got thoughts, Terry, please share your thoughts in the chat window. Susan, so wonderful to see that you're here. Susan Epp writes, Susan here, hello. So Susan, thank you for joining. It's so great to be doing a live stream again. And it's wonderful to see Terry and Susan here. So my friends, that event in Iowa County, in fact, the event took place in a beautiful city named Dodgeville, Wisconsin. And I know my friend Terry knows about Dodgeville. She knows about Iowa County, having lived in Wisconsin for many, many, many years. So Terry, I was in Dodgeville, in the beautiful Iowa County, at Republican Party of Iowa County's event. And I did a PowerPoint presentation talking about my immigration journey, talking about the ongoing border crisis. And it was just a wonderful event. And I'm happy to tell you that the video of my presentation is available on my channel. So if you check out my YouTube channel, you check out my videos, you will find my presentation. I think that video is 51 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. And that's because the video includes my presentation, my PowerPoint presentation, and also the Q&A session, the question and answer session. So after my presentation, there was an opportunity for me to listen to people's questions and answer those questions. And there was a lively discussion, which you can hear if you watch the video. So please watch the video. Terry writes, I watched that one. I could read the PowerPoint. Yes, Terry, I'm glad that you watched it. And, thank you for doing that, Terry. Thank you for doing that. And so, my friends, if you have not yet watched that video, please do so. Because right behind me, you can see the PowerPoint slides. And I presented some really important information. And so please watch it if you have not done so already. And I would like to thank the Republican Party of Iowa County once again, right here during this live stream. I want to thank the Republican Party of Iowa County for the invitation and the wonderful opportunity to share my views as a legal immigrant and a naturalized United States citizen. Okay, my friends, let's now go into the discussion. The very important discussion of the Trump trial. Now, as I've said before, if you have thoughts that you want to share about the Trump trial taking place in New York, please do so in the live chat window. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your views. You can also ask me questions. However, if you ask me legal questions, I just want to tell you I'm not a lawyer. I've worked very closely with lawyers. I pay attention to a lot of legal cases, legal issues, but I'm not a lawyer. So if you ask me complex legal questions, I will probably refrain from answering. Terry writes, you talking about the current New York case? Yes, Terry, I am talking about the ongoing trial in New York. The trial against Donald Trump, who is the former president and hopefully soon to be president. And he is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful leader. Terry writes, I'll take all the legal questions. So, all right, Terry, you said it. And so if people have legal questions, they're going to ask you. All right. And Terry is laughing. Thank you, Terry. My friends, let me take a sip of tea. All right. My friends, let me just tell you that this trial is it's completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, let me just tell you, this trial should not be happening. This trial should not be happening because Donald Trump is an innocent man. He's an innocent man. He has done nothing wrong. He has not broken any law. All that he wanted to do was to make America great again, which he did. Which he did. When he was in office, when he was the president, he worked hard every single day to make America great again. And in the process, the Democrats started hating him. The Democrats don't want to see him win the presidency again, which is why the left-wing activists, the left-wing politicians and the activists, they are making Trump go through this nonsense trial. This trial should not be taking place because Trump has done nothing wrong. So why is he on trial? Why is he on trial? He's a freedom-loving American. He's a wonderful president, now the former president, and as I said, hopefully soon to be president again. And what the Democrats are trying to do, what the left-wing activists are trying to do, is to keep him away from campaigning. That's really the goal here. That's the goal of the left-wing activists who are making Trump go through this trial, this nonsense trial in New York. Every hour that Trump spends in the courtroom, that's an hour that Trump is not able to use for campaigning. And it's not just the time spent in the courtroom. When he's not in the courtroom, obviously, Trump is interacting with his lawyers. He has to be involved in the discussion with his lawyers. And so he's having to spend a lot of time on this case, which is a bogus case. As I keep saying, Trump should not be on trial. He has done nothing wrong. But the Democrats are trying to use up Donald Trump's time so that he has less time to spend campaigning for presidency. My friend Terry writes, first, nobody even knows what the charge is. That's my question. Why is Trump on trial? What has he done wrong? Nothing. He loves America. He wants to make America great again. He loves the people of America. He wants to see America as the #1 country in the world. And then also Trump wants to strengthen our relationship with our global allies. He wants to make sure that America stays strong, that we are successful and prosperous. He wants to make sure that people are able to afford groceries. He wants to make sure that people are able to save money. He wants to make sure that the American children can get good education. Trump wants to make sure that the seniors can have access to good health care. Trump wants to make sure that the younger generation can have opportunities for success. Trump wants to make sure that our military is strong. Trump wants to make sure that the men and women of law enforcement have the resources that they need to combat crime. Trump wants to make sure that people are able to buy homes. He wants people to be able to successfully pursue the American dream. Trump wants to make sure that we remain a global leader. And Trump wants to make sure that people who come to the United States as immigrants are coming in legally. Trump wants to secure the southern border and end illegal immigration. Trump wants to end illegal immigration because he wants to make sure that those foreign nationals who are coming to the United States to live and work here are coming in through the legal process. This is the man who is on trial in New York. A man who loves America. A man who loves the American people. A man who wants to put America first. This man is a great leader. He's a great American. He's one of the best presidents in the history of this country, Donald Trump. And look what he's going through right now. He is on trial in New York. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking to see what Trump is going through. All because of the left-wing politicians and the left-wing activists, the radical left-wing activists. They are making Trump go through this trial. They are keeping Trump away from the campaign. They are using up Trump's time. They are keeping Trump tied up in court so that he's not able to campaign. Billy Wiggins is here. Billy, wonderful to see that you're here. Thank you for joining the discussion. Thank you for being here, Billy. So, let me tell you, my friends, what's going on. Let me tell you what's going on. Whatever the Democrats hoped to gain from this trial, it's not working out for them. Because you know what's happening? The American people, they can see, they can read, they can think. The American people are intelligent. They can see the truth. They can see the reality. And the reality is that Trump is innocent. This trial is bogus. It's complete nonsense. And as a result, because people can see the truth, Trump's support is increasing. The more the Democrats try to throw lawsuits and court cases towards Trump, the more and more people are supporting Trump. The momentum in favor of Trump is increasing. Trump is becoming a stronger candidate, a stronger leader, a stronger man every single day. Billy writes, how you feeling? Billy, you're probably asking me how I'm feeling. I'm feeling okay. You know, I've had last month, I was sick. I had lots of allergy symptoms, and then I ended up having some temperature, some fever. So I took time off from live streaming, spent some time at home just relaxing. This was towards the end of April. And then I had to get better. I had to recover. I had to quickly start feeling well, because on May 4th, I had an event where I was the special guest speaker in Door County, which is quite a bit of a drive from Madison, where I live. And so I had to travel to Green Bay. And then from Green Bay, I had to go to Egg Harbor, Wisconsin, and attend that excellent event. And I really enjoyed speaking at the event as the special guest speaker. My speech was, close to a half hour. And so that was on May 4th. And, then I came back to Madison and, continued with life as usual. And then on May 9th, I had another event where I spoke. That's the one I was talking about just a few minutes ago, that in Iowa County, in southern Wisconsin, the Republican Party of Iowa County invited me to be a guest speaker and do a PowerPoint presentation, which I did. So May 4th, I was up in Door County doing a speech. On May 9th, I was doing a PowerPoint presentation on immigration, in Dodgeville, Wisconsin, which is in Iowa County. And I'm feeling okay now. I mean, April and May, as I said a little bit earlier, are challenging months for me because of the pollen in the air. I get itchy eyes and runny nose and so on and so forth. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing much better. And Billy writes, allergies suck. Yeah, allergies are so tough, and I have to deal with allergies every year. But hey, that's life. So I'm feeling much better now. But also for the past few days, I came back after my initial illness. I came back, started doing live stream, but then for the last few days, I did not do live stream, and that's because I was so tied up with my work and with my other things that are going on. Actually, I gotta tell you this. See, I've got itchy eyes even now. Anyway, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get a sip of tea. So there's a big event coming up on May 17th and May 18th and May 19th. It's a 3-day convention. Well, the actual convention is just on Saturday. Well, the convention that I'm referring to is the Republican Party of Wisconsin State Convention. It's the annual convention of the Republican Party of Wisconsin. So on Friday, May 17th, there's going to be some pre-convention events in Appleton, Wisconsin, which is 2 hours from Madison. So it's 2 hours from where I live. So I'm scheduled to attend those pre-convention events on May 17th. Then on May 18th, which is Saturday, that's when the actual convention is. So, I'm scheduled to attend that also. And then after that, on May 19th, also there's a breakfast event, which I'm not sure that I'll attend. But anyway, I'm going to be in the Appleton area on Friday and Saturday to attend the Republican Party of Wisconsin State Convention and also the pre-convention events. So anyway, it's just a wonderful event every year. It's the annual convention that takes place, and every year there's a different venue. So last year it was in the La Crosse area, and this year it's in Appleton. And I think in 2022 it was in Dane County. So it was 2022 it was in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is right next to Madison, Wisconsin. So it was just a couple miles from where I live. So that's an event that I'm looking forward to. And so a lot going on in Wisconsin, and obviously, I mean, it's the season. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of anticipation. Obviously, because Wisconsin is a battleground state. A battleground state. So Trump has to win Wisconsin. It is possible. He did that. In 2016, Trump won Wisconsin. He got the Electoral College votes from Wisconsin in 2016. So, he can win Wisconsin again. And so at the convention in Appleton, I'm looking forward to seeing many conservative friends from all over the state, many conservative friends who I stay connected with, but who I don't get to see every day or every week. But the convention is an opportunity for everyone to come together, to unite, and to just have a great time and attend the convention. And together we feel energized. We feel energized. And so I'm looking forward to the convention. Hopefully my allergies don't bother me. Hopefully the weather stays nice. And so I'm looking forward to that. So my friends, as you are tuning in for this live stream, please participate in the live chat window. We're having great conversation. My friend Terry has participated in the chat window. Terry, are you still here? I'm hoping you're still here. You haven't left, right, Terry? And then Billy is here. So Billy, thank you for participating. Anyone else who's here? Anyone else who's here who has not participated in the chat window, please do so. Oh, Terry says, yeah. So Terry is still here. So thank you, Terry. I appreciate all your support. And so going back to the Trump trial. The Democrats, they probably thought that these legal challenges and these cases and lawsuits will slow down Trump. The Democrats probably thought that if they can make Trump go through a trial, if they can make Trump be on a trial, then maybe he's going to lose support. But that's not what's happening. In reality, support for Donald Trump is growing, getting stronger every single day. And a lot of independent voters out there, they see what's going on and they don't like it. They don't like the fact that a freedom-loving American, a former president, a great leader, is being forced to be on a trial while he's innocent. And so a lot of independent voters are going to be supporting Trump in November 2024. So this whole New York trial, this whole thing is going against the Democrats because support for Trump is increasing. Support for Trump is growing stronger every day. So Billy writes, Trump's getting a bigger bite out of New York. He was in Jackson Heights, where it's a large Hispanic area. They were chanting, "We love Trump." People love Trump. People love Trump. Regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, people love Trump. Hispanics love Trump. African Americans love Trump. Asians love Trump. I mean, I'm an example. I was born and raised in Asia. That's my ethnic origin. I'm Asian. I love Trump. And there are many other Asians who are American citizens who love Trump. So, regardless of race, religion, freedom-loving Americans love Trump because they want a president who can make America great again. Freedom-loving Americans love Trump. Let's see some comments here. Yeah, that's another case that Trump is referring to, the document case. There are all these cases. People seem to be, like the left-wing politicians and the activists, they seem to be throwing cases, legal challenges after challenges towards Trump. But he's getting stronger every day because he's a true American. He's a real American. He's a great leader. So Sandman is here. Sandman, thank you for joining the discussion. By the way, Sandman, please remind me where you're from. What American state, what city? I like to ask that question. Sometimes I forget, so please let me know. And yeah, Terry is talking about the Fani Willis case, right? I mean, that's not working out in favor of the left-wing activists, right? I mean, it seems like Trump is overcoming all the challenges. And as I said, he's getting stronger every day. People are supporting him more and more. Terry writes, I think the DAs need to reimburse the taxpayers. Billy is also writing about the taxpayers. So, that's one thing. Government should be working for the people, right? For the people, of the people, by the people. I mean, we talk about it. But some of these public officials, some of these left-wing district attorneys, I mean, it's shocking to see what they are doing with taxpayer dollars. They are coming up with all these bogus charges and cases that they are throwing at Trump. And, you know, everything comes with a price tag. So as the DAs are working on, you know, as the DAs are trying to bring charges against Trump, they are basically spending American taxpayer dollars engaging in all these actions, whereas the DAs should be fighting the real criminals. The DAs should be prosecuting the real criminals, the thieves, the robbers, the white collar criminals, and you know, people dealing drugs, the real criminals, people who are breaking the law, people who are making our community unsafe. The DAs, the district attorneys, should be prosecuting those criminals. Instead, we see some left-wing DAs who are busy going after Trump. And who is Trump? He's a great leader. He's an innocent man. He's a former president. And as I said before, hopefully soon to be president again. Sandman writes, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So thank you, Sandman, for answering my question, for writing where you're from. How are things in Canada, Sandman? I hope things are okay. Yeah, I don't know how the weather is where you are. Feel free to share something about the weather if you want to. So yeah. So as I was saying, these cases, I mean, you know, the will of God is the most important thing, and we can see that the devil cannot stop Trump. Why? Because he's a good man. He's an innocent man. And so many millions and millions and millions of freedom-loving Americans with strong faith, Americans who believe in a creator, you know, people of strong faith, they are praying for Trump. They're praying for Trump. And there is a lot of strength in prayers. I believe in the power of prayer. I do believe in the power of prayer. And people are praying for Trump. People are praying for Trump. And so we see that with so many people praying for Trump, with so many people wishing him well, he's overcoming the challenges one after another. The support for Trump keeps growing every single day. And it's just, you know, the more the Democrats try to stop Trump, the stronger he's going to be going forward. Terry writes, some people were talking about wildfires in British Columbia causing smoky air here today. To change the topic a little bit, yes, we here in Wisconsin also had air quality alert. I think it was yesterday that we had air quality alert. Billy writes, we were getting that smoke here in New York. Billy, I remember last year, New York had extremely smoky air last year. And I'm sure you experienced that, Billy. There was a lot of smoke. Was it last year? Was it last year? I think it was last year, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I remember when like the air in New York, it was just hazy and cloudy and foggy because of all the smoke coming from the Canadian wildfires. And we here in Wisconsin, we also had air quality alert, but it wasn't as serious as what people faced in New York. So it's kind of sad. I mean, um, it's really hazardous um, for people with lung conditions or heart conditions, or it's just bad in general for there to be so much of smoke in the air. Uh, so anyway, yeah, well, what can we do about wildfires? I guess um, we just have to hope that we don't get um, a lot of smoke here. So praying for the people of Canada, praying for the people in the United States who are having to deal with the smoke because of the Canadian wildfires. I'm praying for everyone. So, friends in Canada, I hope.
2 years ago, I became pregnant with a baby I desperately wanted.
That's an ad that just popped up.
During a routine ultrasound, I learned that the fetus would have
I just started my computer and an ad popped up. It was probably a political ad, but because it was talking about an abortion-related issue. So that's also a big issue that I think is going to be, a key factor in the upcoming election. And what I'm going to tell you, this abortion issue, I think people will have to understand a basic difference in the different layers of government. So there are issues that are local issues, right? I mean, like noise ordinance or signage, things like that. These are local issues. If you have an issue with noise in your neighborhood, you talk to your city council or your village board, or you talk to your county, and snowplow issues. If the streets are not being cleaned after a snow, you talk to your local government officials. And if if you are talking about there are so many issues that are state related. A lot of transportation issues like state highways, and most of the issues are state issues. And then there are federal issues, right? Federal issues, so many issues like defense spending, like national debt, budget issues, a lot of federal education issues. I mean, the examples are endless. So there are certain things that local government looks at. There are certain things that state government looks at. There are certain things that federal government looks at. So abortion is an issue that is not really a federal issue. It's something that should be dealt with at the state level. And different states can come up with different laws regarding abortion. Now, I know that members of Congress, especially on the Democratic side, they talk a lot about it because they want to politicize the issue. They want to amplify the issue and drive voters to the polling booth. But if you look at the idea of government, we want government that is limited at the federal level, limited, small, and efficient. But the federal government has a tendency to grow. The federal government keeps growing. And it's just keeps becoming more and more powerful and deals with a lot of issues. So, I mean, look at, I'm not going to be talking about the evolution of federal government because that's going to be a topic that somebody can write a book on. And I'm sure people have written books on this. But what I'm going to tell you is that the federal government has grown so big that the government's footprint is there in each and every aspect of our lives. But the federal government should have limited power. And so this abortion thing is an issue that I think should be a state level issue. It shouldn't be a federal matter. Congress shouldn't be voting on it. You know, I think the voters of each state should decide what the state policy regarding abortion should be. See, I'm not going into the detailed discussion of abortion. I'm just saying it shouldn't be a federal issue. It should be a state level issue. Now, if you ask me my views, I am pro-life. I am pro-life because of the way I was raised, because of the values and principles that I inherited as I was growing up. I am pro-life. I am pro-life. And I said that during an event recently. I think during 2 events recently, I said, I am pro-life. I always have been, and I still am pro-life. Let's see. Yeah, see, I'm reading Terry's comments. I'm reading Billy's comments. And, you know, I can tell both Terry and Billy, obviously, have conservative viewpoints when it comes to the issue of abortion. Really, my friends, I am very, very strongly pro-life. Very, very strongly pro-life. So, yeah. Anyway, just like, you know, I've got my phone here. I've got my laptop here. And as I was talking, I was going to look something up, and an ad popped up. And it happened to be, I closed it as the ad was running. I closed the computer because for some reason, I couldn't skip the ad. So it was going on and the sound was loud. But it was a political ad. It was a political ad on the issue of abortion. I didn't see the whole ad, but I could tell it's probably a liberal ad, a left-wing ad, I'm guessing. But abortion is going to be a huge issue going towards November. And, you know, without even saying anything for or against abortion, I am pro-life, as I keep saying, I am pro-life, very strongly pro-life. But keeping that aside, keeping my viewpoints on abortion aside, I'm just saying, as a matter of the role of government, abortion shouldn't be a federal issue. You know, it should be like the voters of each state should be able to have a say in what the policies, the rules, the laws surrounding abortion should be in each state. Okay? If you ask me, I'm going to vote for pro-life laws, pro-life policies. That's who I am, without going into details. Now, if you want me to share more details about what exactly my views are, what policies I would support, what laws I would support, that might have to be a different live stream because it's such a big topic. But I want people to understand this. Federal government should have limited role, and abortion shouldn't be something that the federal government dictates. But what the Democrats like to do is that they like to give more power to federal government so that they can take their policies and impose it on the whole country, right? Because the federal government is the national government. The state government only has jurisdiction over a particular state. So the Democrats, whatever policies they like to take it and hand it over to federal government so that that policy is implemented nationwide. And that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean, giving more power to the federal government means we end up with stuff like Obamacare. Even in the case of healthcare, I think different states have different demographics. They have different needs. I mean, some states have more younger people, some states have more elderly people. And so the needs in terms of like healthcare can vary from state to state. So I think each state is best equipped to come up with solutions that fit the needs of the state. But look what Obamacare did. Obamacare, I mean, that whole effort was to come up with a one-size-fits-all, big, one-size-fits-all, like big law to impose it on the whole country. And that's why there was so much of opposition to Obamacare. Like here in Wisconsin, we already had, even before Obamacare, there was already a system in place for consumers who cannot find health insurance coverage because of pre-existing conditions. It was called HIRSP, HIRSP, Health Insurance Risk Sharing Plan. If you want to know more about it, look it up. You may still be able to find some information. It's no longer there because after Obamacare was implemented, HIRSP went away. But HIRSP, HIRSP, which is Health Insurance Risk Sharing Plan. Health Insurance Risk Sharing Plan. That was an arrangement established in the state of Wisconsin for people who could not secure health insurance coverage in the market. If somebody got denied health insurance coverage because of pre-existing conditions, the health insurance risk sharing plan was an option. People could sign up for that and could get coverage even with pre-existing conditions. And for individuals who were low income, there was also some form of like subsidy, I think. I don't know what the exact term used was, but you could get coverage for a lower price tag, basically, lower premiums. So we already had a pretty good system in place that worked. But then Obamacare came in and HIRSP went away. So for a state like Wisconsin, we already had a solution in place for people who could not get coverage because of pre-existing conditions. And I'm not going into the discussion of all the other things that we had in Wisconsin, but that was one of the good things, an option that people had. But Obamacare wanted to do a one-size-fits-all solution for the whole country, which ended up not being so much of a solution. It ended up being more of a problem because the premiums skyrocketed and people had difficulty securing coverage, and there were glitches with the online system where people had to go and sign up, healthcare.gov. I mean, I'm not going into all the details, but if you remember, a decade ago, what happened? More than a decade ago, I think. How much of trouble people went through. And all of that happened because the federal government tried to come up with a one-size-fits-all solution. And so I think the lesson there is, don't give more and more power to the federal government. And so, the Democrats want the same thing in case of abortion. The Democrats want to come up with their pro-abortion rules and regulations, pro-abortion views, and they want the national government, the federal government, to impose those pro-abortion policies all over the country. That is wrong. The voters of each state should be able to decide what the policies, laws, and rules of that state would be. So Terry writes, Wisconsin had Badger Care for poor people. Yeah, for low-income individuals, people with, less assets and less income, there's still Badger Care. There's still Medicaid. Terry writes, but my son didn't qualify because he had no children. Yeah, childless adults, right? I mean, that was an issue that I think, if I remember correctly, Terry, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think in Wisconsin for Badger Care, there was a wait list for childless adults, for adults without children. There was a wait list. But when the Republican governor was elected in 2010, after Governor Walker came to power, I think that wait list issue was addressed. And people who really needed Badger Care could actually get access to care. The Republicans in Wisconsin solved a lot of problems after they won elections in 2010 and came to power in 2011 January. Billy writes, single people get excluded from everything. Except the doubling of our taxes. Well, taxes are going up. That's another discussion we can have. Taxes are going up. And, here in Wisconsin, especially in Milwaukee, there's a lot of discussion about taxes going up because of the new assessments, the property values, so on and so forth, taxes going up. People are not happy. Okay? People are not happy. Maybe I'll discuss that in the future, during a different live stream. I mean, there's so many important topics that we can discuss, but I can't do it all in one live stream because I also want to be able to present some data and statistics, so I need to look all that up. So anyway, my friends, Terry writes, Wisconsin changed after Obamacare implemented. Yeah. Lots of changes took place after Obamacare was implemented. So anyway, going back to the Trump trial, which is really the topic of today's discussion, I'll just say this. This New York trial, it's actually going to increase support for Donald Trump. And all the legal challenges that Trump is facing, in Georgia and, wherever else, the more cases the liberals throw towards Trump, the more and more people will start supporting Trump. So I'm hoping and praying that Trump wins the November 2024 election. I'm hoping and praying that Trump is elected president again. My friends, we just crossed the 1 hour time mark. I will soon be ending this live stream. You know that on other days I do live stream for 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. Today I do have to end because I have a few things I need to take care of tonight. So I'll be ending this live stream in a few minutes. But please share with me whatever thoughts you have. Terry is writing, just saw a report on middle class need 42% more income to remain middle class since 2012. Terry, would you send me a link to that report? I would like to read it. Middle class Americans are having a really hard time in this economy. Really, really hard time. Terry writes, New York trial, hope just one person on the jury holds out for acquittal. Trump is an innocent man. And I'm hoping that at the end of this trial, the outcome will be favorable for Trump. Billy writes, in general, single people pay higher income taxes. Terry writes, yep. So Terry, I'm guessing you said yep because you're going to send me that report, right? The link to the report. Please send it to me. So my friends, I'm going to be wrapping up this live stream. I appreciate Terry for joining. I appreciate Billy for joining. And I know Sandman from Canada also joined. I don't know if Sandman is still here, tuned in, but I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And also those who joined the live stream but did not participate in the live chat window, that's fine. Participation is voluntary. If you want to participate in the live chat, you're welcome to do it. If you just want to watch, that's fine too. I just appreciate your support for my channel. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. So my friends, Billy writes, what? You have a life? Yeah, Billy, I've got other things that I need to take care of. I actually am working on, Billy, I'll tell you, I'm working on a few pieces of writings, some opinion pieces that I'm writing on social and political issues. And if and when those get published, I'll let you know. So thank you, Billy. Appreciate you joining. Thank you, Terry. And Sandman, thank you for joining. And everyone else, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So please watch my videos. If you have not seen my PowerPoint presentation that I delivered at the event organized by the Republican Party of Iowa County, please check out that video. It's on my channel. And thank you all for coming. Thank you all. Thank you so very much. Please continue to stay connected. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And I'll be back again with more videos, more live stream, and more content and more commentary. So once again, Billy, thank you. Terry, thank you. Sandman, thank you. And thank you to everyone else who tuned in. And I'll be back again. And Susan! How did I miss Susan's name? Susan, you were here. I don't know if you're still here, Susan. But thank you, Susan. Thank you so very much for joining. So have a wonderful night, my friends. And I'll be back again soon. Thank you.